Vandeyam Shri Guru Shri Yatha Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Scha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shivishakam Vitam Scha Om Jnana Timaranda Shyagyana Shlakaya Chakshuran Militam Yena Tasma Shri Gurave Namah Gaurava Bhistam Supurakam Gauraganara Sisha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Veda Nipanam Shri Rupa Patanugam Govindam Vidam Ujwalam Bharatanum Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Bande Vishwagurun Shah Divyat Bhagavat Prem Nawe Bija Pradam Devam Divyatanum Suchandabaranam Balarka Chelanchitam Sandrananda Puram Sadeka Varanam Vairagya Vidyam Buddhim Sri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Baram Bandetam Shubharam Mareka Sharanam Nyashishvara Shidaram Vanshakopatarubyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavenibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahabharanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratavishe Namah. So reading Madhya-lila of the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, translation and commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupad. This is Madhya-lila chapter 1, the later pastimes of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and this is verse 1. Yasha prasadad agyopi sadya sarva gyatam brajet sa Sri Chaitanya devo me bhagavan samprasidatu. Even a person with no knowledge can immediately acquire all knowledge simply by the benediction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore I am praying to the Lord for his causeless mercy upon me. Bande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityanando Sahodito Godadaye Pushpavanto Chitra Shando Tamonudo. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Shri Krishna Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, who are like the sun and moon. They have arisen simultaneously on the horizon of Goda to dissipate the darkness of ignorance, and thus wonderfully bestow benediction upon all. That's Goda's Bengal. Jayatam surato pangor mama manda matergati matsarva swaparambojo raramarana mohano. Glory to the all-merciful Radha and Madan Mohan. I am lame and ill-advised, yet they are my directors, and their lotus feet are everything to me. Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpa Drumad Srimad Ratnagara Semasanasto Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Devo Prastalibi Sevyamano Smarami. In a temple of jewels in Vrindavan, underneath a desire tree, Sri Radha Govinda, served by their most confidential associates, sit upon an effulgent throne. I offer my humble obeisances unto them. Shriman Rasa Rasa Rambi Vamshivata Tatastita Karshan Venu Svanar Gopir Gopinata Shriyestuna. May Gopinathji, who attracts all the gopis with the song of his flute, and who has begun the most melodious rasa dance on the bank of the Jamuna in Vamshivat, be merciful upon us. Jaya Jaya Gorachandra Jaya Kripa Sindhu Jaya Jaya Sachi Sutta Jaya Dina Bandhu. All glories unto you, all glories unto Sri Gorahari, who is an ocean of mercy. All glories unto you, the son of Sachi Devi, for you are the only friend of all fallen souls. Jaya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Shiva Sadi Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. All glories unto Lord Nityananda and Advaita Prabhu, and all glories unto all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya, headed by Srivas Thakur. Purve ko hilun adi lilara sutragan, Jahavarni Jachan Dasha Vrindavan. I have previously described in synopsis the Adi Lila, initial pastimes, which have already been fully described by Vrindavan Das Thakur. Atevatara Ami Sutra Matra Koilun Jekachu Vishvesha Sutra Madhye Kahilun. I have therefore given only a synopsis of those incidents, and whatever specifics were to be related have already been given in that synopsis. Ebiko hese shalilara mukya sutragan prabhura avesha lila najai varnan. To describe the unlimited pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not possible, but I now wish to relate the chief incidents and give a synopsis of those pastimes occurring at the end. Taramadye Jay Bhaga Dasha Vrindavan Chaitanya Mangale Vishtare Korila Varnan Se Bhagera Ihan Sutra Matra Likiba Tahanje Vishesha Kichu Ihan Vishtariba. I shall describe only in synopsis, that means briefly, that portion which Vrindavan Das Thakur has described very elaborately in his book Chaitanya Mangal. Whatever incidents are outstanding, however, I shall later elaborate. So, what Vrindavan Das Thakur has not described in his Chaitanya Bhagavad, it was originally called Chaitanya Mangal, but later Chaitanya Bhagavad. And whatever he hasn't described, what Vrindavan Das hasn't described, Krishnadas Kaviraj will describe in more detail. But right now he says, I'm going to give a synopsis, I'll give a resume, brief, what I'm going to present. And there's a reason for that also, for doing it this way, because Krishnadas Kaviraj is old, so he doesn't know if he's going to live to finish the whole Chaitanya Charitamrita. So he says, okay, I'm going to give in the form of, I'll give a resume or a synopsis of what I'm going to present. That way, if I don't live to finish, it's also implied, if I don't live to finish the book, you'll still know what are the general details. So, Srila Prabhupada, he also said he was going to do like that because he was translating the Srimad Bhagavatam. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the 10th canto is the biggest part of the Srimad Bhagavatam. That's like 90 chapters. So what Srila Prabhupada did, he said, I don't know. He said, I don't know if I'll finish the book. So he presented all the Krishna Lila, which is the main part of the Srimad Bhagavatam, the 10th canto. He presented that in the Krishna book, and he explained all the Lila very nicely in the Krishna book. And then he went back to writing the Srimad Bhagavatam, which was because he wanted to give at least the Krishna Lila, but that doesn't come till the 10th canto, and he was doing the earlier chapters. And he actually passed away before he could finish the book. He passed away after he'd explained the 10th canto, chapter 13, about the Brahma Lila. And then he passed away. But he'd already given the whole Krishna Lila in the Krishna book. And here, Krishnadas Kaviraj is saying, okay, this is what I'm going to talk about. And even he'll also give the Antya Lila here. We're in the Madhya-lila. He'll also give the resume, or slokas about all the main things in the Madhya-lila, and then here in the Madhya-lila, he'll also give the Antya-lila, what happens at the end. And then later he could explain it all in detail. And this Vrindavan Thakur, this later lila, he didn't describe so completely. Chaitanya Lilara Vyasa Dasha Vrindavan Tara Agyaya Karun Tara Uchishta Charban. Actually, the authorized compiler of the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Srila Vrindavan Das, the incarnation of Vyasadeva. Only upon his orders am I trying to chew the remnants of food that he has left. Bhakti Kori Shiri Dori Tahara Charan Sesha Lilana Sutra Gana Koriye Varnan. Placing his lotus feet upon my head in great devotion, I shall now describe in summary the Lord's final pastimes. Chabishta Vatsara Prabhur Grihe Abastan Tahanje Korila Lila Hari Lila Nam. For 24 years, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu remained at home, and whatever pastimes he performed during that time are called the Adi Lila. Chabisha Vatsara Seshe Jay Magamash Tara Shukla Pake Prabhu Korila Sanyas. At the end of his 24th year, in the month of Magh, during the fortnight of the waxing moon, the Lord accepted the renounced order of life, sannyas. Sannyas Koriya Chabish Vatsara Abastan Tahanje Lila Tara Sesha Lila Nam. After accepting sannyas, Lord Chaitanya remained within this material world for another 24 years. Within this period, whatever pastimes he enacted are called the Sesha Lila, or pastimes occurring at the end. So after he took sannyas, the remaining 24 years of his life, after he took sannyas, those final 24 years out of 48, they're called the Sesha Lila, or the later pastimes. Sesha Lila Ramadya Antya Duina Mahoy Lila Bede Vaishnavas Sabnama Beda Koi. The final pastimes of the Lord, or the Sesha Lila, the final pastimes of the Lord occurring in his last 24 years are called Madhya, middle, and Antya, final. All the devotees of the Lord refer to as pastimes according to these divisions. So the remaining 24 years is the Madhya-lila and the Antya-lila, the middle and the final. Tara Madhya Chai Vatsara Gamanagaman Nilachala Goda Setu Banda Brindavan. For 6 years of the last 24, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu traveled all over India, from Jagannath Puri to Bengal, and from Cape Comorin to Vrindavan. So, after he took sannyas, Mahaprabhu went to Jagannath Puri, and then after Jagannath Puri, he went to South India, and here, Cape Comorin, that means like the very bottom of India, near what they call Ceylon now, but before it was called Sri Lanka. He didn't go into Sri Lanka, but he went to the very southern part of India, and then he traveled to Bengal and Vrindavan. For 6 years of the last 24, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu traveled all over India, from Jagannath Puri to Bengal, and from Cape Comorin to Vrindavan. Tahanje Lila Tara Madhya Lila Tarapache Lila Antya Lila Abidan All the pastimes performed by the Lord in those places are known as the Madhya-lila, and whatever pastimes were performed after that are called the Antya-lila. So basically, when Mahaprabhu was traveling, that's the Madhya-lila. From Bengal to Puri to South India, back to Bengal, back to Puri, then to Vrindavan, all that. During those 6 years, that's the Madhya-lila. And this is actually the main, these are so many pastimes. We can say the Madhya-lila is the biggest part of the book, actually, when he's traveling. And then Antya-lila is when he's, after his traveling, he stayed in Jagannath Puri for the remaining 18 years of his life, basically. And during those 18 years, for the first 6 years out of the 18, he's having kirtan and occupied very much with the devotees. And in the remaining 12 years of his life, he's mostly tasting in separation Krishna's pastimes, and that's mostly with persons like Ramananda Roy, Swarup Damodar, sometimes with, sometimes with Gadadhar Pandit at the temple of please, in the kitchen, please be a little quiet. They're not hearing. Can you?
No, they say it was Parameshwar. What's his name?
Param. Yeah, okay. Adi Lila, Madhya Lila, Anja Lila are every Madhya Lila Kichu Koraye Vistar. The pastimes of the Lord are therefore divided into 3 periods, the Adi Lila, Madhya Lila, and Antya Lila. Now I shall very elaborately describe the Madhya Lila. Ashtadansa Varsha Kevala Nila Chale Stiti Apani Achari Jive Shikaila Bhakti. I turned off the microphone for a second. You didn't say it's Parameshwar. I didn't hear Parameshwar. I just heard. But I won't. Ashtadasha Varsha Kevala Nila Chali Stiti Apaniya Chari Jive Shikaila Bhakti. For 18 continuous years, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu remained at Jagannath Puri, and through his personal behavior instructed all living entities in the mode of devotional service. Taramadye Chai Vatsara Bhakta Gana Sange Prema Bhakti Pravartaila Nritya Gita Range. Of these 18 years at Jagannath Puri, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spent 6 years with his many devotees. By chanting and dancing, he introduced the loving service of the Lord. Nityananda Gosaire Pataila Gora Deshe Teho Gora Desha Bashaila Prema Rase. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent Nityananda Prabhu from Jagannath Puri to Bengal, which is known as Gauda Desh, and Lord Nityananda Prabhu overflooded that country with the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Sahaje Nityananda Krishna Premudam Prabhu Agyaya Koila Jahantahan Premadan. Sri Nityananda Prabhu is by nature very much inspired in rendering transcendental loving service to Lord Krishna. Now being ordered by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he distributed this loving service anywhere and everywhere. Tahara Chanane Mora Koti Namaskar Chaitanyera Bhakti Jeho Lao Jaila Samsar. I offer innumerable obeisances unto the lotus feet of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, who is so kind that he spread the service of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all over the world. Chaitanya Gosai Jare Bole Morabai Teho Kohe Mora Prabhu Chaitanya Gosai. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to address Nityananda Prabhu as his elder brother. Morabai means elder brother. Whereas Nityananda Prabhu addressed Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as his Lord. Jajapi apane hoye Prabhu Balaram tatapi Chaitanyara kore dasha abhiman. Although Nityananda Prabhu is none other than Balaram himself, he nevertheless always thinks of himself as the eternal servant of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Seva, Chaitanya Gao, Lao Chaitanya Nam, Chaitanya Jai Bhakti, Kore Se Mora Pran. Nityananda Prabhu requested everyone to serve Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to chant his glories and utter his name. Nityananda Prabhu claimed that person to be his life and soul who rendered devotional service unto Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Nityananda Prabhu requested everyone to serve Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, chant his glories and utter his name. Nityananda Prabhu claimed that person to be his life and soul who rendered devotional service unto Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Emata loke Chaitanya bhakti lao jaila dinahina nindaka sabare nishtarila. In this way, Sri Nityananda Prabhu introduced the cult of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to everyone without discrimination. Even though the people were fallen souls and blasphemers, they were delivered by this process. So sometimes, about words, there's what's called connotation and denotation. So the denotation of the word cult is just, it means like a group of persons, a cult. It doesn't have a bad meaning, but that's the denotation. But in the modern world, the word cult has become a connotative. It means something of people who are like, it doesn't have a good meaning. It means a group of people who are maybe fanatic or something like that. So it has a bad meaning. But Srila Prabhupada here is not using the word in that way. He's using it to mean those who are following Mahaprabhu. And in this way, Srila Nityananda Prabhu introduced the cult of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to everyone without discrimination. That means he gave Mahaprabhu's message and kirtan to everybody without seeing who was qualified and who wasn't. And it's already been said that Nityananda Prabhu was sent to Bengal by Mahaprabhu, and because of Nityananda Prabhu's his presence in Bengal, all of Bengal became, you can say, saturated with this love of Godhead and worship of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Even though the people were fallen souls and blasphemers, they were delivered by this process. Tabi Prabhu Braje Bataila Rupa Sanatan Prabhu Agyaya Dui Bhai Aila Vrindavan. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then sent the two brothers, Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Sanatan Goswami, to Braja, to Vrindavan. By his order, they went to Sri Vrindavan Dham. So Rupa and Sanatan Goswami were sent by Mahaprabhu to Vrindavan. Bhakti Prachariya Sarva Tirtha Prakashila Madan Gopal Govindara Seva Pracharila. So Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, they're sent to Vrindavan. Nityananda Prabhu was sent to Bengal. After going to Vrindavan, the brothers preached devotional service and discovered many places of pilgrimage. They specifically initiated the service of Madan Mohan and Govindaji. So Sanatan Goswami he established the temple of Shri Radha Madan Mohan and Rupa Goswami. Sanatan Goswami established Shri Radha Madan Mohan, we can say, and the temple of Gopinath, or Shri Radha Gopinath. Pardon me. Sanatan Goswami established Madan Mohan and the temple of Govinda, Shri Radha Govinda, that was established by Srila Rupa Goswami. Nana Shastra Ani Koila Bhakti Granthasar Muda Adama Janere Teho Korila Nishtar. Both Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami brought various scriptures to Vrindavan and collected the essence of these by compiling many scriptures on devotional service. In this way, they delivered all rascals and fallen souls. Prabhu Agyaya Koila Sab Shastrara Bichar Brajera Niguda Bhakti Korila Prachar. The Goswamis carried out the preaching work of devotional service on the basis of an analytical study of all confidential Vedic literatures. This was in compliance with the order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Thus one can understand the most confidential devotional service of Vrindavan. So, Rupa and Sanatan Goswami presented, they took so many confidential scriptures and after studying these, they presented their devotional literature. So they are the main Shastra gurus, Sanatan Goswami and Rupa Goswami, and also later Srila Jiva Goswami. Hari Bhakti Vilas Ara Bhagavatamrita Dashamatipani Ara Dashame Charita. Some of the books compiled by Srila Sanatan Goswami were the Hari Bhakti Vilas, Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Dashamatipani, and Dashamacharita. Esab Granta Koila Gosai Sanatan Rupa Gosai Koila Jata Ke Karuganan. We have already given the names of 4 books compiled by Sanatan Goswami. Similarly, Srila Rupa Goswami has compiled many books which no one can even count. So many books. Pradhan, Kichu, Korye Ganan, Laka Grante, Koila, Braja Vilasa Varnan. I shall therefore enumerate the chief books compiled by Srila Rupa Goswami. He has described the pastimes of Vrindavan in 100,000 verses. Rasamrita Sindhu Ara Vidagda Madhava Ujjwala Nilamani Ara Lalita Madhava. The books compiled by Srila Rupa Goswami include the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Vidagda Madhava, Ujjwala Nilamani, and Lalita Madhava. Nanakeli Komude Ara Bahu Stavabali Ashtadasa Lila Chanda Ara Padyavali Govinda Viruda Bali Tahara Lakan Mathura Mahatmya Ara Nataka Varnan. Dhanakeli Kumudi Arabahu Stavavali Ashtadasha Lila Chandra Arapadjavali Govinda Virudavali Tahara Lakan Mathura Mahatmyara Nataka Varnan. Srila Rupa Goswami also compiled the Dhanakeli Kumudi Stavavali Lila Chanda Padjavali Govinda Virudavali and Mathura Mahatmya and Nataka Varnan. Lago Bhagavatamritadi Kekaruganan Sarvatra Korila Braja Vilasa Varnan. Who can count the rest of the books headed by the Lagu Bhagavatamrita written by Srila Rupa Goswami? He has described the pastimes of Vrindavan in all of them. Tara Bratus Putra Nama Sri Jiva Gosai Jata Bhakti Granta Koila Tara Antanai. Srila Rupa Goswami's nephew, Srila Jiva Goswami, has compiled so many books on devotional service that there is no counting them. Sri Bhagavat Sandarbha Nama Granta Vistar Bhakti Siddhantara Tate Dekayachin Par. In Sri Bhagavat Sandarbha, Srila Jiva Goswami has written conclusively about the ultimate end of devotional service, about the goal of devotional service. Gopala Champuname Granta Mahashura Gopala Champuname Granta Mahashura Nitya-lila Stapana Jahe Braja Rasapura. The most famous and formidable transcendental literature is the book named Gopal Champu. In this book, the eternal pastimes of the Lord are established and the transcendental mellows enjoyed in Vrindavan are completely described. The rasa of Vrindavan is completely described. So the most famous and formidable transcendental literature is the book named Gopala Champu. In this book, the eternal pastimes of the Lord are established and the transcendental mellows enjoyed in Vrindavan are completely described. Emata Nana Granta Koriya Prakash Goshti Sahite Koila Vrindavane Bas. Thus Srila Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, and their nephew Srila Jiva Goswami, as well as practically all of their family members, lived in Vrindavan and published important books on devotional service. Pratama Vatsare Advaitari Bhaktagan Pratama Vatsare Advaitari Bhaktagan Prabhure Dekite Koila Niladri Garna Gaman Pratama Vatsare Advaitari Bhaktagan Prabhure Dekite Koila Niladri Gaman. The first year after Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the renounced order of life, sannyas, all the devotees headed by Sri Advaita Prabhu went to see the Lord at Jagannath Puri. He accepted sannyas at Jagannath Puri, and the devotees from Bengal that first year went to see Mahaprabhu. Rathayatra Dekitahan Rohila Charimas Prabhu Sange Nritya Gita Parama Ulas. After attending the Rathayatra ceremony at Jagannath Puri, they were there for Rathayatra, all the devotees remained there for 4 months, greatly enjoying the company of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by performing kirtan, chanting and dancing. Vidai Samaya Prabhu Kohila Sabare Pratyabda Ashibe Sabe Gundicham Dekibare. At the time of departure, the Lord requested all the devotees, please come here every year to see the Rathayatra festival of Lord Jagannath's journey to the Gundicha temple. So in the Rathayatra ceremony, well, not ceremony, the Rathayatra, we can say, the procession, goes from the Jagannath Puri temple to the Gundicha temple. So the first year, the devotees went to stay with Mahaprabhu for 4 months. That means they come at right before the rainy season or at the beginning of the rainy season, which is in Chaturmasya, means 4 months. And they would stay the Chaturmasya there in Jagannath Puri. Then they would go back to Bengal, back to their homes. So it says here, at the time of departure, the Lord requested all the devotees, please come every year for the Rathayatra of Lord Jagannath's journey to the Gundicha temple. So you should come every year for Rathayatra. And the devotees, they go to from Armat, they go to Rathayatra in Jagannath Puri. Prabhu Agyaya Bhakta Gan Pratyabda Ashiya Gundicha Dekiya Jana Prabhure Miliya. Following the order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the devotees used to visit Lord Chaitanya every year. They would visit Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu every year. They would see the Gundicha festival at Jagannath Puri and then return home after 4 months, after the Chaturmasya finished. Vim Shati Vatsara Aiche Koila Gatagati Anyone Duhara Duga Bina Nahistiti. For 20 consecutive years, this meeting took place, and the situation became so intense that the Lord and the devotees could not be happy without meeting one another. So very intense, and they're going for the Rathayatra ceremony by Mahaprabhu's request. Seshar Jai Rahe Dvara Shabasar Krishnera Viraha Lila Prabhura Antar. The last 20 years were simply devoted to relishing the pastimes of Krishna and separation within the heart of the Lord. The last 12 years, Seshara Jai Rahe Dwara Shabasar Krishnera Viraha Lila Prabhura Antar. The last 12 years were simply devoted to relishing the pastimes of Krishna and separation within the heart of the Lord. So at that time, Mahaprabhu was feeling great separation, and his pastimes are, feeling that separation. Nirantara Ratridin Viraha Unmade Hase Kande Nache Gaya Parama Vishade. In the attitude of separation, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared mad both day and night. Sometimes he laughed, and sometimes he cried, sometimes he danced, and sometimes he chanted in great sorrow. Jekale Korana Jagannatha Darshan Mane Bhave Kuruketre Panchadi Milan. At those times, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would visit Lord Jagannath. Then his feelings exactly corresponded to those of the gopis when they saw Krishna at Kurukshetra after long separation. Krishna had come to Kurukshetra with his brother and sister to visit. So after Krishna left Vrindavan, he went to Dwarka. He went to Mathura and to Dwarka, but he never really returned to Vrindavan. but all the gopis were feeling separation from him. But they all went to Kurukshetra. There was a solar eclipse, and Mahaprabhu went to Kurukshetra, and all the people from Vrindavan, they went to Kurukshetra also. And there they met with Krishna. After many, many years had passed, they met with Krishna. Well, at those times, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would visit Lord Jagannath. Then his feelings exactly corresponded to those of the gopis when they saw Krishna at Kurukshetra after long separation. Krishna had come to Kurukshetra with his brother and sister to visit. So when Krishna went to Kurukshetra, he came there with Balaram and also Subhadra. And they're on the Rathayatra cars in Mahaprabhu's Lila, because they had also come to Kurukshetra. Balaram and Subhadra came with Mahaprabhu and many of Mahaprabhu's wives. He had 16,108 wives, many wives. And then he went there with chariots and horses. It was like an army. And the gopis went there, and all the residents of Vrindavan went there. But they had so much separation because they knew Krishna intimately when Krishna was young and he was in Vrindavan. Now they're seeing him they saw him as a cowherd boy. Now in Kurukshetra, they're seeing Krishna not like a cowherd boy, like a prince, like with so many wives and so many horses and so many soldiers and all that. So they were very happy to see Krishna, but that atmosphere was very much different than Vrindavan, the village. So the villages of Vrindavan. So at those times, they're seeing Krishna, but they're feeling more separation from Krishna because now he doesn't have his flute. He's with so many people are with him. At those times, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would visit Lord Jagannath. Then his feelings exactly corresponded to those of the gopis when they saw Krishna at Kurukshetra after long separation. Krishna had come to Kurukshetra with his brother and sister to visit. When Krishna was performing yajna, sacrifice at Kurukshetra, he invited all the inhabitants of Vrindavan to come see him. Lord Chaitanya's heart was always filled with separation from Krishna, but as soon as he had the opportunity to visit the Jagannath temple, he became fully absorbed in the thoughts of the gopis who came to see Krishna at Kurukshetra. Rathayatraya age jabe koranartan tahan e paramatra koraye gayan. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to dance before the car during the festival, he always sang the following two lines. Seta parananata painu jahalage madana dahane jurigenu. I've gotten that Lord of my life for whom I was burning in the fire of lusty desires. So Mahaprabhu is singing this song during Rathayatra, and nobody can understand what is he talking about? What is he singing about? Because he's a sannyasi. But this song, Seta Parana Nata Painu Jahalage Maranam Dahane Jurigenu. This song is not sung. It's not sung by a man. The person saying all this is not a man. It's a woman. And the song is, I've gotten that Lord of my life for whom I was burning in the fire of lusty desires. It's a woman singing this. Now, it's been so long since I saw my lover, and now I am seeing him after so many years. And Mahaprabhu is singing that. But Mahaprabhu is a sannyasi, and he's singing like a song of a woman who's expressing, after so long, I have seen my lover, so many years have passed, and I'm the same person, and he's the same person, but now everything is different. It's like a song of separation. So much time has passed and everything has changed. And now my desire is to go back to with him to the places of our youth. That's the song. But nobody can understand what is he singing about. But he's singing. His song of singing is in the mood of Srimati Radharani, of feeling separation from Krishna. That's what this song about. But it doesn't say Krishna, it doesn't say Radharani, and people can't understand. What's this song of, what's he singing? I've gotten that Lord of my life for whom I was burning in the fire of lusty desires. In Srimad Bhagavatam it is stated, Kaman Krodam Bhayam Sneham Aikyam Suridam Evacha Nityam Haro Vidadato Yanti Tan Mayatam Ite. The word kama means lusty desire. Bhaya means fear, and Krodha means anger. If one somehow or other approaches Krishna, his life becomes successful. The gopis approached Krishna with lusty desire. Krishna was a very beautiful boy and they wanted to meet and enjoy his company. But this lusty desire is different from that of the material world. It appears like mundane lust, but in actuality, it is the highest form of attraction to Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a sannyasi. He left home and everything else. He could certainly not be induced by any mundane lusty desires. So when he used the word madanadahane, in the fire of lusty desire, he meant that out of pure love for Krishna, he was burning in the fire of separation from Krishna. Whenever he met Jagannath, either in the temple or during the Rathayatra, Mahaprabhu used to think, now I've gotten the Lord of my life and soul. And his desire is to take, during Rathayatra, is going from Jagannath Puri to Gundicha. And Jagannath Puri is like Dwarka and Gundicha is like Vrindavan. And Mahaprabhu's mood during the Rathayatra is to want to take Krishna back to Vrindavan. But not everyone knows this. They cannot understand what's going on in Mahaprabhu's heart. He's feeling his deep emotions. E duya gane nachana dvitiya prahar Krishna laya braje jai e bhava antar. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to sing this song, Saita Parananata, especially during the latter part of the day. And he would think, let me take Krishna and go back to Vrindavan. This ecstasy was always filling his heart. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to sing this song, Saita Parananata, especially during the latter part of the day. And he would think, let me take Krishna and go back to Vrindavan. This ecstasy was always filling his heart. E bhavin nritya madhye pare ek shlok, se shlokarartha keho nahi buje lok. In that ecstasy, Mahaprabhu recited a verse when dancing in front of Lord Jagannath. Almost no one could understand the meaning of that verse. That's the verse which we talked about. I could say something about it because I've heard from Srila Govinda Maharaj and Srila Guru Maharaj about this feeling. But Ya Kumara Harasa Eva Ivarastha Eva Chaitra Shapas Te Chonmilita Malati Surabaya Proda Kadambanila Sa Chaivashmi Tatapi Tatra Surata Vyapara Lila Vido Reva Rodasi Vedasi Taru Tale Cheta Samutkantate. That very personality who stole away my heart during my youth is now again my master. These are the same moonlit nights of the month of Chaitra. The same fragrance of malati flowers is there, and the same sweet breezes are blowing from the Kadamba forest in our intimate relationship. In our intimate relationship, I am always the same lover, yet still my mind is not happy here. I am eager to go back to that place on the bank of the Reva under the Vedasi tree. That is my desire. So that very personality who stole away my heart during my youth is now my master. These are the same moonlit nights of the month of Chaitra. The same fragrance of malati flowers is there, and the same sweet breezes are blowing from the Kadamba forest. In our intimate relationship, I am also the same lover, yet still my mind is not happy here. I am eager to go back to that place on the bank of the Reva under the Vedasi tree. That is my desire. Eshlokar Jani Ekale Swarup Daivi Seva Sarataha Gyachena Rup. This verse appears to be the hankering between some ordinary boy and girl, but its actual meaning was known only to Swarup Damodar. By chance, one year Rupa Goswami was also present there, so people could understand what is Mahaprabhu's feeling. But by chance, one year Rupa Goswami was also present there. And this, what Mahaprabhu is feeling, is described in this verse as only known by Swarup Damodar. But one year Rupa Goswami is there. Prabhu Mukhe Loka Shuni Se Rupa Gosai Se Shlokarartha Shloka Korila Tatai. Although the meaning of the verse was known only to Swarup Damodar, Rupa Goswami, after hearing it from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, immediately composed another verse that described the meaning of the original verse. So that original verse, you cannot tell what this is. This is the mood, like I was saying, of a woman towards her lover, that very personality who stole away my heart during my youth is now again my master. These are the same moonlit nights of the month of Chaitra. The same fragrance of malati flowers is there, and the same sweet breezes are blowing from the Kadamba forest. In our intimate relationship, I am also the same lover, yet still my mind is not happy here. I am eager to go back to that place on the bank of the Reva under the Vedasi tree. That is my desire. So people cannot understand this verse. Although the meaning of that verse was known only to Swarup Damodar, Rupa Goswami, after hearing it from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, immediately composed another verse that described the meaning of the original verse. Shloka kore ek tala patrate likiya apanavatsara chale rakila gunjiya. After composing this verse, Rupa Goswami wrote it on a palm leaf and put it on the roof of the thatched hut, on the thatched house in which he was living. It's actually a hut. It's not a house. It's actually a hut. But after composing this verse, Rupa Goswami wrote it on a palm leaf and put it on the roof of the thatched house in which he was living. Thatched house means made out of, the roof and everything is made out of straw. So Rupa Goswami composed a verse, and he wrote it on the palm leaf, because they used to write the verses on palm leaves. Rupa Goswami wrote it on the palm leaf, and he put it in. He put it up there in the roof of the house. He wrote it, and then he put it there, but it was just keeping it there. Shloka Rakigela Samudra Snana Korite Enakali Aila Prabhu Tahare Milite. After composing this verse and putting it on the roof of his house, Srila Rupa Goswami went to bathe in the sea. And in the meantime, Mahaprabhu went to his hut to meet him. Haridas Thakura Ara Rupa Sanatan Jagannath Mandirena Jana Tinajan. To avoid turmoil, or three great personalities, Haridas Thakur, Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Sanatan Goswami, did not enter the temple of Jagannath. because they didn't enter the temple because Haridas Thakur, he's born in a Muslim family. He's born in a Muslim family. Rupa and Sanatan Goswami were ministers in the Muslim government, and they even had changed their names to Muslim names. So when they are all in the mission of Mahaprabhu, and now they don't have Muslim names, but they had been with the Muslims, so they considered that they were outside of the Hindu society, which was very caste conscious. They were outside of the Hindu society, so they didn't disturb people by trying to go into the Jagannath temple. Just like we are considered, we cannot enter in the Jagannath temple. Who is not a Hindu cannot enter into the Jagannath temple. So Americans or South Americans or anyone who goes to Jagannath Puri, they cannot enter the temple. So the same way, we're in good company because it says to avoid turmoil. Three great personalities, to avoid problems and create some disturbance. Haridas Thakur, Srila Rupa Goswami, and Srila Sanatan Goswami did not enter the temple of Jagannath. Mahaprabhu Jagannathara upalabhoga dekiya nija grihe jana e tinere milia. Every day Mahaprabhu used to see the upalabhoga ceremony at the temple of Jagannath, and after seeing this, he used to visit these three great personalities on his way to his own residence. So I'm going to stop here. Tomorrow we're going to read what happens, because Mahaprabhu goes to the Upalabhog early. He goes in the morning to the Jagannath temple. He's there for that. And then he would go visit Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Haridas Thakur. So he's going to go visit them, and then he's going to find the verse that Rupa Goswami wrote, because Mahaprabhu is thinking that nobody can understand his heart. But there, Rupa Goswami is expressed in that verse. What are the intimate feelings of Mahaprabhu? So we'll hear about that tomorrow.
That's a wonderful story. I like that story.
And now, push this. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jaravaya Nama Haraya Nama Krishna Jaravaya Nama Jaravaya Maravaya Keshavaya Nama Vaya Maravaya Keshavaya Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinatha Maranaman Giridhari Gopinatha Maranaman Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Garadhara Shiva Sari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Garadhara Shiva Sari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhakta Raghunath Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhakta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath Echai Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan Jai Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan Jaite Vignana Shabishta Puran Jaite Vignana Shabishta Puran Jai Gosai Jar Mui Taradas Jai Gosai Jar Mui Taradas Kasabar Pada Renu Mora Panchagas Sabar Pada Renu Mora Panchagas Tader Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanibas Tader Charana Sevi Sanibas Janame Janame More Abhilas Janame Janame More Abhilas Jai Gosai Jave Braje Koilabas Jai Gosai Jave Braje Koilabas Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Manja Iyaman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Manja Iyaman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriya Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriya Hare Nam Sankirtana Kohe Narottamdas Hare Nam Sankirtana Kohe Narottamdas Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriya Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriya Hare Nam Sankirtana Kohe Narottamdas Hare Nam Kirtana Kohe Narottamdas Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare Nitai Gora Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Nitai Gora Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Nitai Gora Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Nitai Gora Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Jai Saparikara Shishi Guru Guranga Gandharvika Giridhari Ju Ki Jai Tadiya Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Nirmalacharya Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravajakacharya Ashtatara Sadasi Shimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravajakacharya Ashtatara Sadasi Shimad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishoredas Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Sat Chidananda Bhaktivedanta Thakur Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Rupa Nuga Guru Varga Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath, Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath, Shad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai, Prem Sigo, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi, Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Vishvavarenya Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupad Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Navadip Dham Ki Jai, Shri Ram Mayapur Ki Jai, Saparshada Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Saparshada Shri Man Mahaprabhu Ki Jai, Shri Koladvip Ki Jai, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai, Soquel Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Seva Ashram Ki Jai, Ganga Devi Ki Jai, Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Govardhan Shyam Kunda Radha Kunda Kalandi Yamuna Jul Ki Jai, Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai, all the assembled devotees Ki Jai, Gaur Premanande Hari
Maharaj ki
Yeah.
jai.
Bol.